Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about a question that I sometimes see on my channel, which is why you can still tan even when you're wearing sunscreen properly. Now usually the explanation goes like this. Sunscreen does not block all UV rays, so some UV still reaches your skin anyway. And technically that explanation is correct, but I honestly do not think that this is the main reason people tan while wearing sunscreen. I think the bigger reason is simply real life and actually spending time outside. Because even if you apply sunscreen properly, using enough product and applying it evenly, your protection level is not constant for the entire time you are outdoors. Sunscreen forms a thin protective layer on the surface of your skin, but that layer is affected by movement, by touching your face, by sweating, by facial expressions, by wind, by water, and by towels. So while you may start close to the labeled SPF, that protection slowly decreases over time. You do not suddenly drop from SPF 50 to 0, but it gradually declines without you noticing it. And this is where tanning becomes interesting. Because tanning does not require a dramatic or painful UV exposure. It does not require a visible burn. It simply requires repeated UV exposure over a longer period of time. Especially UVA, which you do not feel happening. And since SPF is really about UVB and not UVA, that part often gets overlooked. So even if your sunscreen is still offering some protection and you never burn at all, small amounts of UV, especially UVA, can still reach your skin again and again over several hours. And your pigment-producing cells do not need a crisis to start producing more color. They simply respond to repeated exposure. Which means you can feel completely fine, never burn, and still gradually tan. And this does not mean your sunscreen completely failed. It is just that your protection level was never really constant to begin with. And unless you are strict with reapplying, seeking shade, wearing protective clothing, or basically staying indoors most of the time, some gradual tanning is simply going to happen, and that is okay. And from my experience traveling a lot, and from comments I get from people in very different countries and climates, this is also not really about culture. And it is also not being about irresponsible. It is simply about human behavior. You go outside, you enjoy a moment, you forget the clock. So you are not constantly thinking about UV exposure. And that is usually what leads to gradual tanning. Now I hope that this helped clarify why tanning can still happen even when you did everything right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!